Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh Butler. I'm with my son Sam Butler and my two dogs Roxy and Remy Butler. And today we're going to be open and honest about the experience of the NFL and what it takes to get there and my journey on the NFL. This is now day 7, I believe, of posting consistently every single day here on YouTube. And so I've yet to talk about football. It's a different journey. Definitely. I graduated out of college in 2019 from Michigan State University, and since then I moved to California literally right after because of COVID, and we didn't have a pro day. It got canceled. There was just a bunch of stuff going on. It took me about 4 years or so to actually make it to the NFL. This is my journey and how I got there. So spending almost 3-4 years outside of college, I was working in Los Angeles, California, doing acting, music, television, and just the entertainment business in general. And so I remember one day in 2023, around like March of 2023, I got a call from the UFL Michigan Panthers. At the time, there was USFL, and so I got a call from the GM. He said like he wanted to know if I still play football, and at this time, preparation is everything. It just wasn't like I was being lazy or nothing. Like I manifested my journey and my dream for a very long time. So a lot of people don't know. Back in March 2023. I had a 2006 Ford F-150, and it was just me and my two dogs living in Los Angeles, California at the time, specifically Northridge. And I got a call from the USFL Michigan Panthers, the GM, Steve, and he wanted to see if I still play football. I was about 4 years out of college at this time, and I just really trusted, believed, and it manifested that I play football. Like every time I spoke that I played. Every time that I had the chance, the opportunity to work out, I do my own thing, and I never had a change of mindset that I couldn't do it. And that was the main thing. I worked in my mind and believed in my mind that this was the dream for me. And so when I got the call back in 2023, I packed up my truck, my two dogs, and we drove from California back to Michigan. And man, it was an incredible long journey. We stopped at a whole bunch of places, whole bunch of sightseeing. But I got there, and then like the day that I got there, the next day I had a scrimmage. You wanna say something? And the next day I had a scrimmage, and I played in that game, and literally I made the team from that scrimmage. I played nickel and corner in that scrimmage, not knowing a single call on the playbook, nothing. I just knew football, and I just trusted and believed what my safeties was telling me, and I did my thing. And so since then, I started that whole entire season. It was me and Levante Taylor. He played at Florida State. He was really good corner too, and it was me and him that year, and we really didn't allow too many catches that year until like week 7 or 6. So we was dominating in that field. I played really good that year. Got picked up to the Dallas Cowboys, and so this is where my NFL journey begins. And now being 4 years into the NFL, I understand practice squad and being on the active roster. I can say being on the active roster is way better than practice squad. By all means, making it and being on practice squad, there's nothing wrong with that. And your goal and your mindset in your mind is like, okay, I want to be able to make enough money to not only retire, but retire my entire family. And so with that mindset, like on practice squad, yeah, you don't get the same amount of pay. And I know a lot of people see contracts that think you're a super millionaire. Like you see Patrick Mahomes contract and stuff like that, and it's like, oh yeah, all NFL players got that money. You don't get that. And on practice squad, by all means, it's you can make a lot of money, but if you have a family that depends on you, it don't seem like much. By all means, if you're by yourself, live within your means. I'll tell you that. So my first year I was by myself. I lived well within my means, and I was able to save enough money to trade in my 2006 Ford F-150 and bought a truck that I wanted to have. But I lived in a one-bedroom apartment, and I only used about. So during the season, I got paid about $6,000 every single week for 18 weeks, and I would only spend about maybe $3,500. That's with everything for myself. That's with gas, food, electricity, water, housing, and my 2 dogs and everything. So about $3,500 off of a $6,000 check per week was a lot. You know what I mean? So once I did get a family last year in 2025, it was like, all right, I gotta make a little bit more money, because now I'm taking over all my lady finances, and I have a son now, including my 2 dogs. So the family grew a little bit bigger, but the money kind of differentiated, and so with that, I had to teach my lady how to budget, and teaching my lady how to budget was kind of tough, because she also thought like, oh yeah, you play football, you're a super millionaire. I'm like, that's not the case. I was on practice squad my first 2 years, and then I got elevated up, and I got hurt, and then when I got hurt, I got the same amount of practice squad. And mind y'all, when you get on practice squad, you don't get paid during the off season, so you have to live off of that 18 weeks for the entire year until the new season comes around. So managing money is the biggest thing I would say for you. If you're a practice squad player, manage money and live within your means. If you have a family, sit down with your family and budget with your family. That's the best thing you can possibly do. Until you are able to earn a contract to where it's like, all right, cool, we want to sign you for this much amount of money, and now you're making millions, and you're able to go and live and do whatever you want to. Thankfully, I'm on the Dallas Cowboys, and so I stay in Texas, so like cost of living is not that much, so I'm able to rent out a house like this, and it still be only like $2,000 or so, so being in that, but like budgeting and taking on, everything. My lady is a stay-at-home mom, and so because of my schedule is so tough, it's very hard for her to go to work and me to go to work. So she stays at home, but she's getting more into social media, and so she's trying to get money and brand deals from that. Other than that, yeah, man, I say like the experience of playing football is absolutely amazing. If you are a practice squad player, make sure you are budgeting your money. I know it may not seem like it's a lot of money, but it is in retrospect. And comparison is the thief of joy. And you have the opportunity to be on practice squad. You also have an opportunity to get elevated at any given moment in time. So once you're going against them reps, against them one players, make sure you're running to the ball. Make sure you're trying to tag off. Be smart. Don't tackle a quarterback or like the number 1 player on the team or nothing like that. But absolutely work hard. It can happen for you. Unfortunately, I tore my ACL, but like I also played good enough in the games that I got elevated up to where they wanted to keep me around and heal and recover and sign me to another 1-year contract. So like, also speaking of contracts, that money that y'all see on a contract it's not guaranteed, and you don't get all of that. And there's taxes, there's a whole bunch of stuff. So for me, for instance, I signed a $1.2 million contract for 1 year. That doesn't mean I get $1.2 million. Do you want to tell them the contracts? All right then. So that doesn't mean I get $1.2 million off the rip. That's not the case. So I don't get paid until the actual season starts when I sign that contract. Some people get signing bonuses. I have never got a signing bonus. I've never got a signing bonus ever in my career. And so I also have never made $1 million in my career. Due to being on practice squad 2 years in a row and tearing my ACL, I've only had max pay of about $120,000 to about 200 and something thousand, and this is going into my 4th year, so that's over 3 years. And on top of living, try forget it. And that's on top of living. So like actual savings, I've never made $1 million. And that's why I work so hard with social media and music and acting and television and stuff like that, because it's super, super hard to earn $1 million. And the whole goal is to retire myself, my kid, my family, so they don't have to work a day in their life. Like, honestly, if I can earn about $7 million outside within football, within the time that I have to play, and I'll have like $7 million saved, I can live off of $7 million. I'm not the type of guy who wants fancy cars and clothes and stuff like that either. I can literally live off of $7 million, invest that, learn how to do certain things, and then flip it. And I think $7 million will last me pretty much my whole life until I'm able to earn and put it in the Roth IRA. And, you know, also ask a bunch of questions about, oh, how do I do this and how I do that? And since I am starting to like get up there and earn enough money to be considered high class and stuff like that, I ask people all the time, what do you invest in? How do I get my money into this and stuff like that, and stocks and all of that stuff? And so, you know, with that being said, I'm really learning a lot over these last 3 to 4 years now. And so, you know, football rocks, please. Football is a huge misconception on what you think and what you have. And I want people to know, like, don't be afraid to realize, like, okay, this is a really good life, a really good chance for me to change my life. I know you hurt the same. I know that you are going through the same things as any other player, but don't let it steal your thief of loving the game, and don't let it steal your thief of not feel like you made enough money and stuff like that too. But it is hard for a lot of players who don't get super, super rich as people see on social media and stuff. And that's the thing, like, family think you have a lot of money, and friends think you just have it like that and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, I know somebody who right now who don't play football and probably got more money than me, and I've been in this game for 4 years. And, you know, so then that's why I work so hard. I want to be able to provide for my family, and they have to never worry about anything. So, yeah, that's football 101, and I just want to really just break down football and how things go, and what it's like in my experience. And I've pretty much had a lot of fun over this time. And so, yeah, my boy. Thank y'all for watching. This is day 7, talking about football with my boy. We're signing off. Peace.